Well, hello there, Wayne Bennett. This may seem odd to you, but it seems odd to me too. But this is just something that I felt like I needed to do and had to do and really wanted to do. As much for you, as much for me as for you. But about a month or a month and a half ago or so, old Nick came to us, and he keeps up with the wrestling news, and he said, "Man, good news, good news." Said they're going to induct Wayne Bennett into the Wrestling Hall of Fame. And I said, "Wow, man, that couldn't be of a more of a deserving fella than old Wayne Bennett." And first thing I did, I grabbed a pencil and wrote down some stuff, because I knew I was going to be a part of it. And I called and got me a day lined up to be off, and only to find out in a week or two that Nick said, "Oh, hold your horses a minute. There are two Wayne Bennetts, and I think it's the other Wayne Bennett that they're inducting in the Hall of Fame." Well, I can't help if they made a mistake and inducted the wrong fella. But but with that said, I wrote something that I feel kind of proud of, and I just wanted to share it with you. And so look over my stammering and my ups and my downs, and try to know this came from the heart, and what a special fellow you have been to me. So with that said, I'm going to put these old glasses on to help me see by, and here goes. It says, "Wow, I'm so excited about this, and what an honor it is to be a part of a moment. Coach Bennett, they could not have picked a better man to recognize for a lifetime of giving of yourself and of your time. If I can, I would like to share a few stories about our time together, which has become the better part of my life, about 35 or 36 years. Okay, where to start? There are so many. I remember meeting Coach Bennett, I guess, through my brothers Ken and Tim. Ken was on the first football team that Coach Wayne coached in Man. Let's hear it for those hillbillies, ha ha. And being a small guy, I looked at him as being a giant of a man, only to find out that he was more of a giant on the inside than on the outside because of the size of his heart. I have lots of story about football too, but wrestling is and was my sport. I started as a freshman. A couple of us, me and Leroy, would come over from the junior high and would practice with the high school. Wayne was so excited to get him a 98-pounder. But that never happened, Wayne. Well, Man needed a wrestling mat, and when it come to fundraisers, here in Man, we think of food. So lots of spaghetti dinners were in order. My mother, being a cook at the school, it was a match made in heaven, her and Wayne. And they are still buddies after all these years. To say the least, the wrestling program was poor in those days, but Wayne would not let that stop him. He turned his 70 model Chevelle into the team bus, and you'd be surprised how many men or boys that you could get that one Chevelle would hold, and I'm not telling how many. And I will say, as for a team, for the boys from Man, we were not always on the team standing board. But if your team drawed one of them, you better watch out. I think of those days and years, and all I can do is smile. All the trips, the tournaments, the camps, thanks to Wayne, it all happened. He had this little guy feeling like a giant and ready to wrestle a bear if need be. He became the team barber, the team cook, all them bologna mustard sandwiches. But most of all, he became a friend, a lifetime friend. Well, after high school, Wayne needed a coaching buddy for the midget league football program, so he called me. And I may add that the bunch of boys that we coached went on to do the best of any team that Man ever had, second in the state. Later on, Tim and myself started a wrestling team called the Logan County Wrestling Kid. Wayne was always a supporter and a helper when we needed him. Many times in life I have needed advice, and I always knew Coach Wayne Bennett was there. And after one of the darkest times in my life, we was in Alabama. We lost our son Justin in a lake accident. It was not long after that I looked up, and out the door there stood a lifelong friend and buddy, Coach Wayne Bennett. I used his big shoulder to cry on while he was there. And we got to go to the University of Alabama football game. And what about them barbecue ribs we had before the game, Wayne? Well, a year or so later, we moved back from West Virginia, and we was really in a bind. My son Ben had wrestled since he was 3 or 4 years old, and by now was a junior in high school. And man, not having a team, after much thoughts and plans, we made a phone call to a retired friend that lived over 2 hours away. And after some phone calls and some letter writing, the one man from man wrestling team was born. Ben and Wayne was on a mission for a state championship. And after lots of road trips, matches, and lots of wins, it came up one match short, placing third in the state behind Robert Rash, 3-time state champion and most valuable wrestler. So I will end with congratulations and thank you. So what do you think of that, Wayne? That was just something I wanted to put together and share with you. And so what if they're not recognizing you as a Hall of Famer? I sure am. You've always been a Hall of Famer in my book and in my life. So with that said, I'm going to say thanks and miss you, man. Love you. Take care. Bye.